Hello, community. My name's Paul Mills, also known as Binary, and I'm from Raptorium Core. And I've decided to make an assets creation video to help everyone register their master assets, sub assets, or whatever you want to do with the wallet. So I think what I'll start with is what are master assets? So master assets are like the main or the top level digital assets created on the Raptorium blockchain. They serve as like foundational units for which sub assets can be registered underneath them. Each master asset, a little bit like the old, domain days where people were, fighting for names. Master assets can only be named once, and they're all in capitals as well. So it's like, I suppose it's like a unique name or identifier on the Raptorium network, and this, shows like distinct ownership and traceability of the asset. Sub assets underneath can be capitals or lowercase. That's the main difference. But to create a sub asset, you need a master asset on the top of it. So only master assets have the capability to generate sub assets, and that gives the master assets like a broader scope of utility. And also, it's why you should really get registering those master assets, whether you're a developer or just a regular user, or a business or a large company. I recommend you get them registered now before someone else does, because you can only do them once. And if you don't, then what you'll have to do is register a master asset and then put your brand underneath or your name underneath using the sub asset system. But obviously master assets have a lot more power as they can have sub assets underneath them. So I'm just going to lightly touch on some use cases now. So you could use it for various applications, such as tokenizing real world assets, a little bit like we've talked about with CryptoSmith. You could also use them as like digital currencies for various projects. You can also use them for, well, basically you can use them as the seed for complex asset structures. Sub assets are obviously, as I've mentioned, it's like a derivative of the master asset, and they cannot exist independently, but they still you can still transact them the same as master assets. They rely on the existence of the parent master assets, also known as the root asset. What else can I say about sub assets? I suppose they provide like a flexibility for a more granular asset class below master assets. They can represent like subdivisions of products or versions, or variations of many different things that are underneath the main topic, which is the master asset. Few use cases is like you could use sub assets for issuing stock shares under the master topic of the stock. You could use them for managing loyalty points as well. You could also create like subdivisions of like an existing digital asset, so different qualities underneath all of that. So this gives a lot more power to the Raptorium asset system as compared to other chains out there, and it really helps organize and stack assets in a way where it's really suitable for use cases and development angles that are not seen in the space before. and it organizes things that helps, you know, businesses and companies with product traceability and also, you know, management of stock with updatable assets as well. So the capability of the master assets, or the root assets and the sub assets on the Raptorium blockchain, it offers significant scalability and utility, complex asset management, and you know, applications that are innovative and also just different to what's out there, you know, just completely different to what's out there. So I could talk all day about, you know, understanding what you could do with it, but I'm not going to go into it now. I'm going to touch a bit more on this at the end. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of my wallets, and we'll get started on creating an asset, and I'll touch on the different ways of creating an asset as well. Okay, so first thing you do is make sure you're on the latest Raptorium wallet version. I will put the versions below in the description, so you can, well, not the version, sorry. I'll put the GitHub link in the description below, so you can select the latest version of the wallet and install that if you haven't already. When you do install the wallet, you will have to sync the wallet, just like many other cryptocurrency wallets out there. The wallet is basically a node, so you know, you do have to wait for it to fully sync. If you want to speed that process up, you can check our Bootstrap video, which is also on this YouTube channel right here, and I'll link that in the description as well. So here we have one of my Raptorium wallets, and as you can see on the left hand side here, you have these tabs, and if you wish to create an asset, you click create asset. So we're going to click that, and at the top here, as you can see, it says asset type root. Now root is a master asset, so that's a master asset. Sub is a sub asset, but we can't create a sub asset unless we've got the master asset. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a master asset. Asset name, we'll type in any name, YouTube test asset, and actually we'll do it in uppercase, YouTube test asset. It will change it into uppercase because it's a master asset, but we're just going to type it uppercase there just so you can be familiar with it. Owner address. So if you this is an address that owns the asset, that the person that's created the asset is the owner. So if you have an address in your Raptorium wallet, you could select any address really. It doesn't really matter as long as you own that address. Paste it into here, just right click, paste it in, and here you have the option to add an IPFS file hash. And what this is you can attach any file, PDF, MP3, all different images to this asset. So when this asset is populated in other areas on the internet or in Stacey Wallet and things like that, it will show the image of the connected. Well, it'll show the connected image on the asset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find an image right now, and then I'm going to attach that. So I'm going to click Browse File, and then we'll go to Pictures here, and I've got one here called Keyrings. And once I've once I've clicked this image, you'll see this hash is generated, and this is generated from the IPFS cluster, the custom cluster that we have at Raptorium, and this is where the images are stored forever. And here we have a unique asset. So unique assets are also known as NFTs, and this means if we click this box, that means it cannot be changed. And as you can see next to it, the box for updatable is now ghosted. We can't change that. And NFTs, you can't they're not divisible. Once you've got an NFT, you've got it. It's the whole NFT. So this is why the decimal point box is ghosted as well, because it's pointless doing decimal points on NFTs, because you don't want like a quarter of an NFT, you know what I mean? Distribution type is also ghosted. Quantity, so how many of these assets do we want? So if we say if we want 5 million of them, there's different ways we can do this. We could do 5 million in that box with a mint count of 1, right? Or we can do 1 million with a mint count of 5. So there's different ways of doing it, but I'm going to do, we'll just leave it as 1 million, right? Issue frequency, this is a feature that is going to be released soon, and that's how you want, over how much time do you want them to keep being issued. So you can have this automated, and this uses Raptorium Futures technology, where it will unlock at a block height or a timestamp in the future, but that is something that is soon to come. Target address is where would we like these assets to be sent when they are minted on the network. So I'm going to just use the same address as the owner address. Now, you don't actually have to own this address to send the assets there. This can be any address on the Raptorium network. So it could be your friend. You could mint the assets for him, then you could send him or her the assets, and obviously they would have all the assets, but you would be the owner or the creator of those assets. But anyway, I'm going to just put the same address in right now, the address that I own, the address that's created the assets, and that's where they will go once they are minted. So just to recap, we're creating a master asset. It's called YouTube test asset. I've put an owner address in, an address that I own. I've attached an image to it. So each one of these assets will have that image connected to it. I've set it as an NFT, and this is a unique asset that I cannot update. We've got 1 million of them with a mint count of 1, so that there'll be only ever 1 million. Target address is the address that owns the asset or created the asset, one that I own. And we're going to just click create asset. So when we click this, it will give us this box here, provided that you have encrypted your wallet, which I highly recommend you should encrypt your wallet. If you haven't encrypted your wallet, then that's just something stupid. So make sure you set a password for your wallet. So anyway, I'm going to pop my password in. Just like that. Press enter, wait for this to count down, and I'm going to click yes. And now that asset is created, but it's not minted yet. So now we have to go to the assets tab here. So when we go to the assets tab, you will see here a few of my stupid assets that I've created to test on this wallet. But you will see the asset that we have created just right here, called YouTube test asset. Now what we must do, is wait for this asset to be mined on a block. Now, bearing in mind, our blocks are, 2-minute blocks on average, so it will take about 2 minutes to appear here. And as far as I understand it, that's comparable to some of the top chains when you're using a smart contract to create and also mint an asset. So it's not, doesn't take long at all. So what we'll do is we'll wait for this asset to be minted, to have the ability to be minted, sorry. And I'll click, while we're waiting for that, I'll just click on here and show you some of the other assets that I've got. So Ray, obviously my name is Binary, and I've attached a Binary image to it, and I've got 1 million of those ready to send to the community in the Stacey wallet when Tree enables assets. So yes, that's there. We've got Stupidium. I don't know how I've got that. Someone must have sent it me. But yeah, I know nothing about that. We've got MAGA Fish. That is Donald Trump as a fish. An excellent meme coin, meme token. So I thought I'd create that. There's 1 million of those. Very rare.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Oh no.
Check your Wi-Fi network connection by going to settings.
Okay, ignore that. That's just a tablet. Okay, we've also got Node as well, and that has a file attached to it, such as, I think it's a PDF, and that PDF is actually encrypted with a password. So it was like a bit of a challenge I was going to do with the community, where there may be a node that's on the asset within a PDF, inside a PDF, all encrypted, each layer with clues. So that's something cool that I've got planning. So yeah, we're just waiting for this to allow us to mint. So it shouldn't take too long now. While we're waiting for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on some use cases for assets. Now, some use cases are for master assets and sub assets is you could use them in real estate, where a master asset represents like the estate property portfolio, and then the sub assets represent like individual properties. Another use case is like corporate stock issuance, where the master asset would represent like the total stock, and the sub assets would represent like different classes of shares underneath. Another one is like loyalty and like reward programs, things like that, whereas master assets would represent like overall loyalty points currency, and the sub assets would represent like particular products, campaigns, or regions of loyalty participation. Another one is supply chain management. So the master asset would represent the entire supply chain network, and a sub asset would represent different stages or nodes in the supply chain, such as like raw materials or manufacturing facilities or even distribution centers. Another one is like digital art or collectibles, where your master asset represents the entire collection or series of digital art. Sub assets could represent like individual art pieces, which could vary in edition or rarity or quality. Another one is like memberships. So your master asset would represent the organization's membership structure, and the sub assets would represent like different tiers or levels of membership, offering like varying benefits depending on which asset, sub-asset it is, and different benefits to or privileges to members. Gaming, your master assets could represent the game itself, or like the gaming platform. Sub-assets could represent like individual game items, currencies in the game, or characters, each with specific attributes that are updatable depending on how you're progressing in the game, or even functionalities that enable extra health or god mode or something in the game. Another one is event ticketing. So like master assets could represent the entire event or festival, or sub assets could represent like individual ticket types such as VIP or standard or student tickets, or each with different access levels or benefits. And with updatable assets, all these different asset classes and different use cases can come alive depending on the status of each asset or how you would like to use it, which gives so much more depth and use case to the Raptorium ecosystem than a lot of other token chains, and offers a lot more security because all of these assets are done directly on the protocol level with no risky smart contracts. So anyway, let's go back to our YouTube test asset and see how we're going on. And as you can see right here, it is now mined on a block, so you can see the asset on the network. So all we need to do now is click mint, and we'll put in our passphrase once again. OK, and press yes, and the asset is now minted. Now this asset after minting means we now have a balance of YouTube test asset of 1 million. Before we didn't have a balance. So now because we have the balance, we can now send the asset wherever we like. So we click send asset. We can select an asset that we've previously created. In this case, we've got YouTube test asset. We put an address in where we would like to send it. And we put an amount, we'll just send 1. Put in our password, press enter, and we will send a test asset to that. So now, if we check our assets, once it's seen on the next block, this will go down to 999,999. So anyway, so if you wish to create an asset that is updatable, make sure you tick the updatable box when you create your asset, and then as long as you own the asset still, you will be able to come back to the wallet and update it. And you can update it in various ways, such as you can mint more, or you can change the metadata that comes along with it, and that gives you many more use cases down the line for your master assets, especially like product traceability and various things like that. But anyway, I hope this guide has helped you out. I thought it was something that was missing and needed to be shown to the community. Big thank you for tuning in for this guide, and I suggest you get creating those master assets. They are going fast, just like the old domain names back in the 90s. So get creating them. If you don't create them and you are a brand and you do miss the opportunity to get your brand's name on a master asset, then it's not the end of the world. You can, you could slightly modify your brand name. So, for example, if your brand's Nike, for example, you could register Nike sneakers as your master asset, or you could have an N as a master asset, and you could have, Nike sneakers, Nike t-shirts, all as sub assets, etc. Thank you very much. Make sure you click like at the bottom on this video, and subscribe to our channel. If you want to become a member, it really helps us out as well with marketing, things like that. Make sure you're following us at Raptorium on X, at Instagram, and at Threads. We're also on TikTok, that's at Official Raptorium. And I think that's about it. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.